Big into the slipper modeling. Oh, we're live, boys in America. Welcome to the best hour of your day, assuming your day is very, very mediocre. We're going to change that line at some point. Welcome to the Eric and Rodney show with Robin and Jaeger.
Jaeger, where's Jaeger at? We do have a guest. Jaeger's here. There he is.
Look at that. Isn't that adorable?
Blink twice if you need rescuing. He just blinked.
He's horrified.
He's camera shy. He's pretty. Hey, buddy.
Yes.
There was a time in this country we could joke around about Asians eating dogs, but you can't do that anymore, so I won't. As you can see, Asians love dogs. Almost everybody.
Most of them do.
He's a pretty boy. How old is he? Is it a boy, right?
Yeah, he's a boy. I just had him neutered a month ago.
How old is he?
He's gonna turn 2 soon.
He's a handsome little devil.
You waited a year and a half to get him neutered. Aren't you supposed to do that out of the gate?
I waited a year. And then
He wanted to give him some freedoms.
I like that. Did he go screw around in the streets? Did he go his wild oats?
Is he the father of many?
Certainly hope not. Funny dog.
They're gonna be knocking on his door. We need our dowry. Right. We need dog food.
Do you guys have a stray dog problem in the States?
We do not have a stray dog. Well, not in the affluent areas. Not where we vote blue. I would imagine somewhere in Tennessee there's a bunch of dogs running around right now.
Yeah. Pack of dogs.
Yeah,
bunch of them dogs is up on the porch.
Why, do you guys have a stray dog problem?
Yeah, stray dogs, stray cats everywhere. Every corner you look is like 5 stray dogs somewhere.
We have stray people. But
we have the homeless. We solve the dog problem. It's the homeless that's the issue.
Eric, I don't know if you ever experienced this in the big town, but I actually experienced it in the city. And I'm not making fun of anybody, but this was the craziest thing I've ever seen. You would see homeless people with pets, and I'm thinking,
I know
this guy can't feed himself, but now he has a dog.
Yeah, it's one of those things that doesn't make sense as a marketing ploy, because I think you get more money, but then you have to buy dog food. Like, I'm sure they're not going to the vet, you know.
Yeah, right. Like, I mean, like, and I agree. Like, it was a ploy to get the dog food, but it's like people are going to give the dog, like, you know, they're going to give him food, but like, you still got to feed the dog. Like, are you going to take the dog's food?
Exactly.
Starve the dog, or like when they would have cats and stuff. Like, I'm not saying it's irresponsible, because who would you complain to? But it's just crazy.
It's irresponsible. Yeah. It's like not having a job and having a smoking habit. Like, cigarettes are $10 a fucking thing. Like, what are you doing? Stop smoking. I don't want to begrudge you your small life pleasure if you don't have a home. But fuck, man, shit's expensive.
Yeah, like, you got to work for these vices.
Exactly.
You got to earn for these vices.
Yes, I'm an alcoholic, but I show up to work every day. There's a balance. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I'm glad we're on the same page. I'm surprised. What kind of dogs are on the streets? Is it just wild packs of Shih Tzus? Like,
yeah, no, there's no particular breeds for them. So in the Philippines, we have a term called askal, and that just means like just generations of. Yeah, it's a Filipino term, askal.
And it means what?
Like it's street dog. So like there's no particular breed. They just breed, and like it's just what it is.
All street dogs ass cows?
Close enough.
Wait, so all right, so you just walk outside of your house and there's a bunch of street dogs looking at you? I mean, like, I don't understand. Like, they're just following you around?
Are they violent?
Yeah, they're some of them are quite aggressive. So like if you're walking in some areas, you need to bring like a
All right, so hold on a second. Hold on a second.
God.
I want to get this right. So let me make sure I understand this correctly. So in the Philippines, when Eric and I come there to do our world tour, we need to be prepared for 2 things that we're not familiar with here: the barefoot bandits, and the wild pack of ass cows. Is that what you're saying to me? We need to bring walking sticks. So we need to bring pepper spray and a weapon, and then a stick for the dogs.
Is it humid over there too?
Yikes.
Is it humid?
Is it humid? Yes, very humid.
This is honestly, they customize hell. It would be a country where I can't get height on my hair because there's too much moisture. Like, hairspray is not going to work against the type of humidity. And there's wild packs of fucking dog. Oh,
could you imagine, Eric? You're like, I left my cell phone in the car, and I'm like, you better figure it out. It's too far. We'll buy another one.
Did you ever see Cujo? Like, you see how much horror one dog can do, and then you have an entire city full of fucking stray feral dogs. Oh my god!
And the bandits.
And the barefoot bandits. Oh,
I know.
Come on, goddamn Philippines, man.
I'm afraid to go outside.
Is like kicking these dogs socially acceptable? Like, how do you get them out of the way?
Yeah, no. no one will stop you if you kill a dog or something because you feel like you're threatened. No one's going to stop you because no one cares for them. They're wild.
Wow. So you could be having like a backyard get together, a little cookout, and then a pack of dogs shows up.
Yeah, no, it happens. Here's kind of where I think the problem stems from is like they have all these like constructions where they're building a new house or a new building, and then like the workers there find these stray dogs and cats and they adopt them for like a few months. Once the construction site is done, they leave, and then the stray dogs and cats are left behind, and then they just breed and multiply, and no one's there to care for them. So it's kind of how it happens.
So it's the people in construction that are to blame.
Yeah,
it's construction workers. I see.
Construction workers.
It's the construction industry.
I just, as usual, I just like the idea too of unbridled dog orgies. They must, you know what I mean? Like all kinds of dogs must be fucking other kinds of dogs. You must have some shit we've never seen before, you know?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. So I'm clear, right? So you're telling me the construction workers are like, I got to adopt an animal while I'm laying down the tile.
Exactly.
That's the culprit. I'm just,
as soon as
I don't
I'm
know
done,
if that makes sense.
Fuck this shit.
Yeah. No, it is.
Well, this is an excellent segue. We're not going to do it yet, but later in the show, we're going to learn more about the Philippines because I think we need Americans. They don't teach us anything. They barely teach us about our own country, let alone other countries, let alone tiny Asian countries. So I'm excited about this. I have some questions. So you want to get to the news so we can plow through this?
Yeah. So this is probably the only professional story in our news segment. After nearly a decade, this is actually going to be surprising. The U.S. and China are no longer top trading partners. So the title now goes to close neighbor. So there's a lot of big shifts in the dynamics of global trade where people are preferring now efficiency over cheaper cost. And apparently the most efficient trading partner for the U.S. has and now will be Mexico.
Not only Mexico, but you see who's number 2?
I did not.
Canada. So we're trading with our neighbors, which is a nice little thing to do, I think. So I don't know if
that is a nice thing.
This is what Trump's doing, and I'm not criticizing him in this case because I don't know if he was right or wrong to do this. But Biden has upheld these tariffs. Did you know how much we're fucking with each other, United States and China? So under normal circumstances, anybody in the World Trade Organization has about a 9% tariff, right, with each other. The United States and Mexico, United States and China keep ramping up. So I think we charge them 19.3%. We charge them 21.2. They charge us 19.3. So we're really being dicks to each other. And I'm not exactly sure why. Right. I looked into it. Evidently, Trump put these tariffs on China because of theft of intellectual property and unfair trade practices. So I go, okay, seems reasonable. But then no article addresses what unfair trade practices are or what theft of intellectual property there was, which is, just bothers me.
It's top secret.
Yeah, if you want to get to the bottom of this shit, because here's the thing, it affects us. Our shit is more expensive because of this. But if you want to know why, good fucking luck.
If you want to know why, I can tell you how to find out. Go to Mar-a-Lago and ask him. He'll show you the paperwork.
I'm like, what were they stealing, sir? I'm sure he'll have a very reasonable answer.
He'll say, I printed it out for you. Here, take a copy.
That's in the bathroom.
Your friend with you, grab one there. Yeah, grab one for your friend.
Yeah, go take a shit, do some reading. You're gonna be fascinated.
He'll be like, I need to read this. There's already a copy in there for you, right by the TP, cowboy.
Oh man, this is one of those things where like it bothers me when people aren't into politics. But then you get into politics by doing a daily news segment on your daily show, and then you're like, I can't get to the bottom of anything.
We're in it, yeah, we're in it. Well, you know what? That's why we got to start a podcast about unsolved stories. What we do is we hype the stories up. We go into them really in depth. We just never finish them.
That's like every podcast on the planet.
Yeah.
I do have one question. Why are a lot of Trump and a lot of Republicans, why are they so against Mexicans and Mexico and having like a border between the two? I mean, I know that's 50-50, right? A lot of people think that's unnecessary.
Well, I think for multiple reasons. One is that they're brown and we are inherently racist as a country. 2 is that they don't speak English, which on top of being brown incites people to no end. Like when people don't speak English in this country, half of us lose our fucking minds.
Yeah.
3rd, Despite the fact that we don't want to do the jobs that they are doing, i.e., a lot of like manual labor. We get upset when they come and take jobs, and also when they come here and get any sort of government assistance. So I think it's rooted in racism. But again, this is one of those issues where I don't live in the American South. I don't have to deal with any of these issues, so I give them a little like I don't get it, but it seems racist. It's like the thing, follow the money. If you wonder why we're upset as a certain population, it's probably racism.
Yeah,
you don't have that problem in your country. You're a monoculture. Until I get over there, start spreading my seeds like wild dogs.
That's a day I'm not looking forward to.
Me and Ron are going to come over. We're going to start
the pack of wild dogs.
Yeah, we're going to start at construction sites. We're going to knock up all that. That's how you spread the seed in the Philippines.
Yeah, and then you're going to.
Jaeger seems like he's got a lot on his mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so this did make me think, man, that Jaeger, you gotta fucking, he's a problem. Get him out there with the ass cows. This did make me think, though, you know how, so Taco Bell is a national food chain that has to do with vaguely with Mexican food.
It vaguely resembles Mexican food.
Vaguely resembles Mexican
right.
food. It's Mexican food adjacent, right? You've had Chinese food, right? Why is there no national Chinese food chain? Ever think about that?
That is a good one. The closest thing we've ever had, if you think about it, it's not but it's not, I know what you're saying, is PF Chang's.
PF Chang's and like Panda.
But that's not
no
what you're saying. Yeah.
No, there's no like fast food. I can't go up to a window and get a 6-pack of crab rangoons. I would like to.
Hey, you have Panda Express there, right?
Yeah, but it's weirdly.
But you have to park and go in, and it takes a few minutes. Like it's a whole thing, right?
And nobody wants to eat in a mall food court.
Like I can literally, there's a Chinese place up the street from my place. It's called from my house called Golden Walk. I can literally go on the internet, right? I'm not talking about Uber or whatever it is, but go on their website, put in an order, and by the time I get to the car to their place, it's done.
That's, oh my God. I ordered Chinese the other day, 25 minutes from the moment I pressed thing, they were at my house, and it's a 7-minute drive. Holy shit.
Yeah. It's incredible, right?
It is incredible.
But you're right. There is no, and I know people say Panda Express, but I mean, like everyone ever, you have to get out, you have to go in. That's not fast food.
No, I want fast food. I want
to drive to the window and it's like showtime.
You know how they have Kentucky Fried Chicken / Taco Bells? Why don't we do another slash and get some pink spare ribs? You know, a little pork fried rice.
Mm-hmm.
You guys eat that over there, right, Robin? You like the pink spare ribs?
No, never heard of it.
Oh, they're good.
Yeah, Panda Express, but like you got to go in the mall.
But it's not that express.
I know.
So here in the Philippines it is, and they actually have their own like mobile app where you could just order direct from it, and the Panda Express has like bikers that send to your house.
Oh,
so
$1 million idea.
That's all.
$1 million idea. Panda Express here. Uber.
Yeah. Why don't we strap them to some ass cows?
Get that chow over here. ASAP, boys.
If we could train birds, I'm sure we can train stray dogs, right?
Yeah.
Looks like Jaeger wants to join the ass cows.
He can be the leader.
Resistance.
What's the next story? Now we've covered one. Unless you have more.
Well,
do you have anything else? China's your boogeyman, right? Like China's your we're always.
Yeah, no, we kind of hate China in the Philippines.
I have a question for Eric because I have a thought on this. Who do you think is our boogeyman, or who should be our boogeyman?
I think, like most things, you look at the world of professional wrestling to tell you who the boogeyman is, because it used to be people used to pretend that they were German, right? We're gonna beat the Nazis. Then everyone was Russian, Nikita Koloff and all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've moved into the Middle East. We've had like Middle East bad guys, very scary. So I think we've sort of stopped there. That's where we're still in that.
We're still evolving.
Yeah. There's a Panda Express drive.
We don't have no drive-through.
Not in the Northeast.
We got to get Governor Okel on the line about this.
You would think Chris Christie would be excited about the prospect.
I know. My God, he would.
Wait, so in South Carolina they have Panda Express drive-thrus, and in New York they don't?
The United States is fucking out of our minds.
Weird.
We don't have a Cracker Barrel here.
I've never been to a Cracker Barrel. Doesn't exist.
I got to tell you something. I don't know what their balance sheets look like. But when you go there, right, there's always a wait. And they have half of the entire place is a store, a country store. And I know what you're thinking, right? Oh, I wouldn't buy anything there. Everybody buys something.
Yeah.
There's candy. There's all kinds of stuff. I'm always like, I'm not interested. Oh my God, what is that? And I'll buy it. It's always something, a goodie,
Yep.
a snack, something.
They have pocket knives for whittling. You ever whittle in the back?
All of it. They have
yeah.
everything. Yeah. I mean, you can make your own bird chimes. They have those rocking chairs on the front on the porch.
Yeah.
You know, they're for sale. They're like $300 a piece. I was there one day, and this older guy was like, "Get 6 of them."
Huh. You know what? I've never been to a Cracker Barrel. I've never been to a White Castle. There's a whole bunch of shit.
White Castle's really good. Yeah. You got to get a Crave case. It's 30 burgers.
That's a lot of fucking burgers.
Well, they're like this big.
Yeah, and
they're steamed.
Yeah.
With onions.
But they're good. They're
very good.
Burgers sounds good.
No, they're incredible, and you just put a little ketchup in them or mustard or whatever. The best is the chicken rings. It's like a circle of chicken. Literally, they're really good, really good. I can't recommend it.
Oh my God, what an amazing time to be alive! Chicken wings.
Well, because here I used to have a cheat meal every week, and that was usually it. And now what I will tell you is that this is a meal that you enjoy for about 30 minutes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
it's coming right out of you.
But it is as effective as a juice cleanse.
No, I like that. Yeah, you can clear out sometimes.
Clear yourself right out. You could lose 5 pounds just from
eating White Castle.
White Castle, yeah.
Interesting. How do you feel about Five Guys?
Yeah, I love Five Guys.
Me too. I think
it's expensive here, though.
It's very expensive, but worth it, I think.
Yeah. Well, I saw a Five Guys when I was in Barcelona.
So if you get the standard double cheeseburger all the way, which is with all the shit, it's 1,200 calories. That's a shit ton.
Sounds right. That's a lot.
But for the money, it's expensive. But for $10, 1,200 calories, and it's got to be pretty good, right?
It's not that bad. It's less than $1 a calorie.
Right. I don't know how we got here from China, but here we
just
are.
have 4 of those, and you're set for the day.
That's all you need.
You know what? Let me just say this, right? Listen, I don't know anything about this, but they're always going on about Joey Chestnut. He ate like 60 hot dogs or whatever, right? Here's one for him. I want you to eat 65 Five Guys all the ways.
Oh yeah,
exactly. Show me something.
Enough with the hot dogs. It's baby shit.
Yeah.
You gotta get on
Eat
that.
15 lobsters. You know what I mean? Like let's get like here's one. I got one for him. Eat Olive Garden out of breadsticks and soup and salad.
It's impossible.
Let's do it.
Can't be done. It's never ending.
That's what I mean.
It never ends.
Let's see how it goes, Joey. You got 12 hours. Show him out who's boss, man.
You should write him. Did you know? So the other dude that always loses to Joey Chestnut is that guy Eric Badlands something. His world record. Does he? I'm not sure, but his world record is drinking gallons of lemonade. He owns that record.
Oh yeah. Yes.
I think it's 4 gallons
he's a
of
really
lemonade.
Big guy, right? I
Yes.
think he was on TV because he lives on Long Island. He was on TV talking about how to drink. He literally drank like an entire Diet Coke.
Right. That's gonna be bad for your esophagus. I'm no throat doctor, but I think that's too much acid, isn't it?
Well, I wanted to tell him, listen, if he had met me when I was 20, when I was in my early 20s,
yeah, it
might have been me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's still time to get in the game. All right, what's the next news story? We're gonna get to the Philippines. God damn it.
This story is just, in my opinion, professional criminal activity. So you know how wealthy people just make up a bunch of silly rules where you have to give them money and shit like that? Kind of like your taxes. Shopify now has the audacity to charge their workers for meetings. So you're looking at like $1,500 just for a 30-minute meeting. And they're arguing that hey, it's a calculator that we're using to put the idea that time is money and it's supposed to make workers value time and boost productivity. But I mean, it's just a scam.
Now, Shopify is a Scandinavian-owned company, isn't it? They're headquartered over there in one of those progressive weirdo countries that, I think this is gone too far. They get a lot of great ideas. Schools are great. There's no school shootings. They always lead the world in happiness, but this is a bridge too far. You can't fucking charge people for meetings. Meetings are outrageous, and you're making me
I did see that. It was like one of them was $2,100.
Yeah.
It was like an hour-long meeting. Like, who is in the meeting? Bill Gates? Who are you guys talking to? Elon?
Right. I think the simple calculation is you look how many people are in the meeting. You know generally how much they make on salary. So you know how much they make an hour. That's how much the meeting costs. You didn't have to come up with a fucking calculator. It's very easy. Very simple math there, Shopify. I'm
Do
saying,
you subscribe to the theory that you can really only do about, I mean, like legitimately, right? And I'm not talking about manual labor because, I mean, I'm living proof that can go on for hours. But I think, and I want to see what you guys think, that you can really only do focused, zeroed in, laser zone flow work for about 3 to 4 hours a day.
I wouldn't say with that's even pushing it. We do this show, and I start reading the stories at 8:30. By 11, I'm fucking exhausted. I need an 8-hour nap.
I'm already half asleep.
Right. You can't, no, like we can't think that much. So when a meeting, that's why meetings are stupid. They should be like huddles in football games. Like 20 seconds, get what the fuck you're gonna say out, and then go do the shit. You know
Like
what I mean?
a Slack.
Like a Slack huddle.
We huddle a lot.
We do huddle a lot. No, I think we.
You know what's funny about Slack, and I'm not here to plug Slack. Although if they wanted to sponsor the show, I mean, let's get in touch with Robin. Robin, give me your stuff. But once you use Slack, you never go back.
Right. No, Slack's good.
Right. I'm serious. Slack solves 99% of your communication. I don't know who in the world came up with it. They were a savant.
Do you think Shopify knows about Slack? What if we get Slack into Shopify? That seems like a big corporate account. Maybe get a little piece of that. Huh?
$1 billion idea. Yeah. We're going to connect Slack with Shopify. I wonder if they've ever heard of Salesforce.
I don't. Somebody call Shopify.
You guys heard of Salesforce? You know, it used to be funny, right? Remember that movie Boiler Room? I used to love that line when the guy's like, "I work for a small bank down on Wall Street. Perhaps you've heard of them, JP Morgan." Like, you guys ever heard of Salesforce?
I think maybe. Oh, you know what? I'm confused. Shopify isn't Scandinavian. That's Spotify. But same thing. Same concept. It's a bridge too far.
Isn't Spotify going bankrupt?
Spotify can't find a way. They got 4 billion active users. They can't figure out how to make money.
Well, I can tell them a way to save some money is stop paying Meghan Markle and Henry or Harry, or whatever his name is, for
$20 million for a podcast nobody listens to.
For a podcast no one listens to.
Yeah, I know.
And they were like, well, they can get really good talent. You know what? I'm going to tell you the truth. If you have a podcast on Spotify and you give me a $20 million budget, I'll get, who do you want on there?
Right. Well, here's the other thing. You gave $20 million to people that have never done a podcast before. Like, at least we know that we're going to suck for a while before we start getting the Meghan Markles of the world on our show. They were just like, oh, you're vaguely famous. Here's $20 million. That's not good business.
That's true.
It's
Maybe it's the business management of the company is not where it should be.
I think perhaps that's the case. Just because you're the famous person of the moment doesn't mean you deserve $20 million and you can do any media.
Well, here's the other thing too, right? This is what I don't understand, and maybe I'm not getting it, or maybe I'm just not smart enough to get it. Is they paid like $100 million for Joe Rogan, right? Is that am I off there?
It sounds about
Joe
right.
Rogan. I mean, again, I'm not that smart, but I don't pay anything to listen to Joe Rogan.
Well, that's what's confusing to me too. I know,
right? Well, so why would Spotify pay $100 million just to listen to him when we can listen to him for free?
Didn't Sirius give Howard Stern? Like
but here's the thing, right? Well, hold on a second. Here's the thing: is that you can only listen to Howard Stern if you have Sirius.
Oh yeah, but you can listen.
If you go on Apple and you type in Joe Rogan, or you go on YouTube or whatever it is, you can listen to him for free.
Right. So Spotify should have only allowed you to listen to Rogan if you had Spotify.
I mean, in my opinion, yeah, right.
Well, if you're going to give somebody $100 million, why are you letting everybody listen to him? Curious. Very.
It just doesn't make sense to me, right? And if you have 4 billion, how many users did you say? 4 billion?
I think it's a lot.
If you have 4 billion users and you can't figure out how to make money, I mean, maybe you're the problem.
How long do you think Spotify offers us? Like $50 to do a podcast? I would say pretty soon.
Is that them calling now?
Robin's on hold with him. I like the aggressiveness of the V-neck on Robin today. It's a very deep V.
Too much.
No, right.
No, it looks good. We love it.
Yeah, I went full unbuttoned. This is my new look.
This is the new style.
Yeah, I'm testing some things out.
So this story is actually fucking great. I can't even read that. A man lost 113 pounds. And he used his story to call out MSNBC to stop politicizing fitness. So apparently someone from this news station, they said some crap like recent fitness trends inspire young men to work out online. And then they're invited to these closed group chats and they're exposed to far-right content and they become neo-Nazis.
Yeah. Okay. So real quick on this whole thing. It's the dumbest story I've ever seen. They should change the headline to "Fat Fuck Misreads Headline is Generally Confused About the World." So this is the thing. This guy, God bless him, he was 400 pounds. He lost 113 pounds, whatever the fuck. But then he reads an MSNBC article and pretends that that MSNBC is saying fitness is only for the far right. That's not what the article says at all.
Is he a far right or no? I'm confused.
No, you're as confused as he is. And I don't know why Fox would pick up the story at all. Well, I do know why.
Well, we know that answer. Yes, we do.
Right. So the article just says that some extremist groups lure young men in with fitness tips and tricks and say something to the effect of, well, you like deadlifts? You're going to love hating black people. So there's this one segment that is using this tactic. Then Fox News gets a hold of this and says, Democrats think working out is extremist right ideology. Categorically untrue. Nothing in this article is anywhere close to what Fox says it is. This guy has the audacity to say we need to get away from clickbait articles. Dude, you're in a clickbait article.
Here's my question. Is this before or after his weight loss?
Shockingly, this is the after picture.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Because I didn't know if his journey had began.
His journey is right. Well, that's the other thing, too. Let's not quote this guy as a fitness expert, please. I mean, listen, I'm proud of you. You lost 100 pounds.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
This is probably a Planet Fitness, right?
Yeah, that's definitely a Planet Fitness. Oh, and by the way, did you know I went to a Planet Fitness for a little while? If you drop weights, they do sound that alarm. Have you ever been into a Planet Fitness?
We don't have those here, but
No,
I've heard
never.
the lunk alarm is a thing.
Yeah, there's something called a lunk alarm,
like,
and I thought it was for show, but I dropped weights once, and they sounded it off, and I got spoken to.
Don't they even give you like free pizza or something for signing?
Yeah, it's like every 10 push-ups you get a donut. It's fucking wild in there.
Yeah. Really?
It's smart,
I've never been there, but that's wild.
Awesome.
I didn't know that. Like, if you drop a weight, I mean, what?
Well, I was doing. Listen, I used to really work out, so I was doing
on?
like flies, pretty heavy flies, and you kind of. I mean, I
No,
wasn't.
but I mean, like, I listen. I used to do CrossFit. That's the whole point of CrossFit is dropping the weight.
And nothing's
You throw
more
it up
fun
as
than
high
that.
as you can and drop it, right?
That's the only good
They'll
thing
have a
about
nervous
CrossFit.
breakdown.
I know. Planet Fitness is a gym for people who don't go to the gym. Their whole model is you sign up for $10 and you never show up.
But you don't $10.
Yes. So that you pay $10, you don't show up. And then see, we get another victim of the lunk alarm.
Wait. So I've heard.
I'm so fucking jacked. Planet Fitness. What's that?
I've really heard like varying things about different Planet Fitnesses. Some say that like it's a great place to work out, very cheap, very affordable, and then there's other people like saying that the lunk alarm, you just drop the tiniest weight and it goes off, and the other people are like deadlifting 500 pounds and nothing's going on. So
telling
like,
you, listen, I was doing flies with hundreds. What am I supposed to do?
That's
I can't sit up with that kind of weight.
did you just drop it or like lightly? Or?
I'm respectful. I'm a respectful. I always wipe my shit down. Like I'm not there to make a scene. So yeah, I just dropped it gently at the end of the fly, and I got spoken to.
Jesus. What did they say to you?
They said you can't drop your weights.
Was it the Planet Fitness police?
They escorted me out.
You know what you should have said is you should have said, well, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do it again. I want you to stand there and hold them for me.
Yeah. This guy came and he yelled at me. He was like, listen, sir, I've lost 100 pounds. I know what I'm doing here.
Here's the question. Why is he wearing hiking boots? Are those hiking boots? You know who he looks like? He looks like SpongeBob SquarePants, like his boots, those little boots that SpongeBob wears, right?
He kind of
That's what his shoes look like.
He looks like an overinflated Seth Rogen.
I thought that was Seth Rogen, actually.
It is very cheap, but like Jesus, I don't know. But this article is fucking outright ridiculous.
Did you read the full article though? Because so there was there's like a journalist at MSNBC, and she's talking about how like fitness is related to Adolf Hitler and whatnot, and apparently
yes. So but it's played. Okay, so half the article is her going, listen, fitness is very good. I'm not saying anything bad about fitness. So if anybody at Fox had read the article, they would have gone, actually, they did mention that in the Fox article. Her only point is, it's like the Ubermensch thing with Nietzsche, why he got tied into this whole thing. Well, his sister was a Nazi. But yes, so the idea is that, if you're physically fit, you're good at war and fighting. War and fighting is generally a right side of the aisle thing that they like.
Well, well, hold on a second. I can debate that there. I think it doesn't matter about how fit we are. I think it matters about the weapons we have.
Well, yes. I think in Greco-Roman, when we used to wrestle for countries, sure, but we don't wrestle for countries anymore.
I think that's where everything went around January 6th. They thought it was about muscle when it's more about the military.
Right. It's more. Yeah. We have guns
and
now.
The justice system.
I don't care how ripped you are. If we shoot you, it's over, right? I think
that's right.
How war works. Listen, I'm not a soldier. I've never been to war, but fuck.
Yeah, we're not war doctors here.
No, we are not war doctors. We tried. We didn't pass any tests. But yeah, so she's saying
we didn't pass any tests. We failed with the barefoot bandits.
Yeah, we couldn't hack the street gangs, so we got into white collar work. All she's saying is that sometimes young, angry men like lifting weights. Ergo, they probably like violence. Ergo, you can talk them into joining your little cult.
If I was just brainstorming here and I had to think of somebody that would prove your point correct, I'm just off the top of my head. You mean somebody like Andrew Tate?
Someone like Andrew Tate, goes around and says, we're not allowed to be men anymore. You can't call women bitches. What's going on? You can't human traffic anymore. And then 13-year-olds without fathers are like, yeah, this guy. And then there's a big problem.
But I think he works out, doesn't he?
Well, he's like a championship kickboxer, but it's not like kickboxing is very popular over here. I'm sure if I did a couple classes at the Y, I could win a belt, I'm sure.
But here's the thing, right? Like, I don't know anything about him, like his personal life, but like, he wasn't like UFC, right?
No, definitely not. Not even close.
No.
So who cares?
Well, because people like Tucker Carlson can say, "Oh, you're a kickboxer," and then giggle like a toddler in front of him.
But I mean, like, if you're going to ask somebody, you ask, I don't know, like, what's that guy's name? Jimbo Jones? What's the really badass guy in UFC? I mean, there's a few of them, but like, what's the
Jim Bob Duggar? Is that who you're referring to?
You know what I mean? There's like some guy, Jim Jones or Jim somebody, right?
Oh,
like
John Bones Jones.
John Bones Jims or something, right? Like, get that guy on the Andrew Tate, who won a couple of karate matches at a strip mall. Who cares?
This is the difference, and this is a through line with a lot of these stories. John Jones is a legitimate tough guy in
John Jones.
Yes, right. Whereas Andrew Tate is a fake tough guy. You know what I mean? You never get the legitimate tough guys doing this shit. It's always these little bitches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You guys probably know who Kimbo Slice is, right?
Yes, he's a legitimate tough guy.
Yeah, and he actually made a debut in the UFC.
He did. He was on The Ultimate Fighter. I tuned in that season. He was okay, but he's much better.
Yeah.
And honestly, backyard fighting is more entertaining than the UFC. They don't lay on top of each other for half. They just fucking swing for the fences. It's great.
Right, I agree. But like the level of dead, by the way. The level of technical fighting in the UFC is like so much greater. So like Kimbo Slice, super badass man, like street fighting, all those things. He came to the UFC, didn't even do so great. So like if you picture a man like Andrew Tate, won a couple kickboxing tournaments, he's just gonna get crushed.
You know, that's a good point. I used to think of myself all the time, right? Like, remember when Manny Pacquiao, right? And what's the other idiot's name? Floyd Mayweather, right?
Floyd Mayweather, yeah.
Like, think about it, right? Let's say you're at a bar, right? And you've had quite a few, right? And you're dancing the night away, and you bump into either of those guys. You don't know who they are, right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, I would have told both of them to beat it like Michael.
Yeah.
They would have killed us.
Oh my God.
They would have killed the two of us and put us in the ground, and we wouldn't even know where we were or what happened or who hit us.
I know.
Which way it came from.
Pacquiao would have hit you 50 times before you knew it.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know. He'd be like, who?
Exactly.
And I'd be like, I'm coming home, Jesus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, take the wheel. Here we go.
Funny story. I actually ran into Pacquiao one day.
Well, I hope you weren't running your mouth.
Yeah, did you mouth off?
Get crazy, did you?
No. But like he walked right by me. So I was at the Marriott, and then there was like some kind of interview going on. And then he walked right by me. He's actually very small. Like,
well, you know what?
I don't know if you know
I
this.
wouldn't go up there. Do not tell him he's small. He will he'll tear your head off your shoulders. He won't even know he's moved his hands.
Yeah, Jesus.
Did you ever see that boxing thing? He was there one time and he was like, and he was moving his hands. I was like, what in the hell happened? I said to myself, I hope Mayweather's got his life insurance because this guy's a maniac. You
know what's fucked up too? It's really fast, but I'm sure it hurts like hell too. Like,
oh my God. He's a maniac.
I know. God, I wish you said something to Pacquiao and you had a story with.
Yeah, he would have.
Amazing.
Right? Could you imagine?
Oh, I wish. All
All
right,
right,
well,
get it right.
I'm calling him small right now, so maybe he wants to see what's up.
yeah,
Maybe he
Pacquiao's
wants to
tuning
dance
in.
with the
Robin
devil.
called you a bitch. He said Robinson is gonna fuck you up, Manny Pacquiao. You're the undercard for Elon versus Zuckerberg. It's gonna
That's
be
right.
Robin versus
Robin versus Pacquiao.
yeah. Wear a GoPro. I want to see.
It'll be like this.
And then lights and then darkness.
Did he move his hands?
He's still alive. All right, what's next? We gotta get to the Philippines.
Yes. Okay. The next story. Florida man was sleeping, sinkhole appeared, and ate him. That was in
What happened
2013.
now? Wait, a semicolon ate a man?
A sinkhole ate a man while he was
Oh, a
sleeping.
sinkhole. I thought you said a semicolon. Got it.
Yeah.
That'd be weird.
So they since patched it. It's been deemed safe, but just yesterday, this sinkhole again reappeared, and it's even bigger and deeper. So my question is, what the hell is going on in Florida? It's like Australia, but in America, where everything's just trying to kill you.
Yeah, this is the most normal shit that's ever happened in Florida, to put into perspective.
This is like News Day in Florida.
Yeah. Can you just imagine just sleeping, the earth eats you? Like that's a fucking.
But here's the question. So a guy fell in, they covered it over, it fell in again, and then they discovered he was down there. How long had he been living down
I don't
underground?
know. But the good news is they patched it and they said it's fine. So it's happened twice, but don't worry. Nothing to see here, folks. Take a little nap. Sinkhole. It's cool.
Might be time for him to move on.
Yeah. So I think dying in your sleep is the way a lot of people want to go. But do you two have a preferred method? How would you like to die?
My sleep.
Sleep. Robin?
I think I'd like to know when I'm dying, actually.
But how are you dying?
I don't know, but like any situation that gives me like a few seconds to know, like, oh, this is the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a coke-fueled threesome. I just want to finish. I want to die, and then yeah. Don't you think? Don't you think
That's pretty good?
Yeah.
That's
He's
pretty good.
going to meet Jesus.
Can you imagine sweaty, drunk, covered in cocaine? You're at the pearly gates. You're like, how the fuck did this happen?
And you see her, Zelensky, this sweaty rat-like creature rolling up. Hey,
Oh, you,
buddy.
Zelensky, you were having a coke-fueled threesome too? Holy shit!
He's like, hey, brothers in arms.
I have fancy taste of world leaders. The other thing I find fascinating about this general subject about dying. So you know how when people die, bungee cord jumping or climbing mountains or whatever, like they've done some surfer just died. Did you hear this? Some championship surfer died because the blade cut his femoral artery and he bled out.
But what kind of blade?
On the surfboard.
Oh, the underside.
They sharpen them. Yeah, so it cut his leg. But everybody always goes when that happens. They died doing what they loved, which is true. But nobody ever says that about heroin addicts, which is also true. You know what I mean? Like, listen, they die doing what they love because they love heroin that much, or whatever. Coke. I just think when I die during a coke-fueled threesome, please make sure the article says I died doing what I love.
Yeah.
I'll take note.
From what I understand, it's pretty difficult to die from doing copious amounts of cocaine.
Yeah, well, this is pretty predictable. It is the thing I've been talking about for 40 years. 42. All right, what else we got?
So this next one gives me mixed feelings. It's about Confederate statues, and they're being removed over time. So almost every year at these statues, there's hundreds of people that are rallying around them, and the local governments are protesting them to have them removed. A lot of them have remained, but so the biggest reason that they're trying to keep these statues is because it might disturb the local Confederate soldiers' grave sites. I don't know. It sounds bizarre.
That's not the reason we're concerned. We're concerned because half of us are racist. That's why we're concerned.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. So when you said some people protest, I'm going to tell you what they were chanting when they were protesting. You tell me which kind of people you think they were.
That's fair.
A couple of the chants that got started: Jews will not replace us, and the other one was White Lives Matter. So do you think it's just normal people that are protesting about the removal of Confederate statues, or do they sound?
So you're saying it was a multicultural crowd?
I'm saying it was multi-ethnic. It was like any college campus thing with a black guy playing frisbee with an Asian. That was the crowd. The thing I don't understand about these statues is that generally you don't erect statues to treasonous losers who love slavery. You know what I'm saying?
Well, in the South, you do.
In the South, but okay, you lost the war. Why are you building statues? They weren't very good generals. You lost the war. We've lost 3 Super Bowls. We don't celebrate those. You know what we do celebrate?
Yeah.
The Super Bowls that we
But
won.
have you ever heard that saying, the South will rise again?
Yeah, when's it coming?
We've been waiting.
This is what I love too. Woodrow Wilson is quoted in this. Woodrow Wilson should be quoted more. He goes, generally speaking, when someone loses a war, the losers are either subjugated, turned into slaves, or killed. But since this is America, we're going to accept you back into the fold. So what should have really happened is that we subjugated the South. What we allowed them to do is build these stupid statues to their loser generals. But now it's time to take them down.
Right.
Plus, you lost to a bunch of Yankees.
Right?
Are we soft? Are we soft Yankees? We're just fucking left and don't go to the gym. You lost to us. Fuck off.
But here's the question I have: is that these people aren't buried under the statue, are they?
No.
So what does that have to do with their grave? I'm confused.
Because this one's in Arlington, so they think if they bring in the machinery.
Oh, I see.
Thing,
I see. I see. Okay, that makes sense.
Arlington National Cemetery is sort of a patriotic place. The South was treasonous in their actions. Doesn't belong there. I know you're from the South, Rodney, so this must hurt a little bit, but the truth
It doesn't bother me. I agree with you. I don't. I think it's time. Times are changing, as our good friend Bob Dylan told us not long ago.
I have there's a house. There was a detour recently in my town. Keep in mind, I live in Massachusetts, very left, very liberal, but there's pockets of red, and I think my town is sort of reddish. I drove past the house that had multiple heritage, not hate Confederate flags up. Like, first of all, whose heritage? You're from Massachusetts, dude. What that's like you adopting this heritage? Stop.
South will rise again.
Yeah, South is gonna rise. Not on my watch.
Robin for the most important part of the show.
You know what I wanted to do though is people in the Fox News are. So I went to Fox to see if Fox covered this story because I wanted to read the commentary in the bottom. Shockingly, Fox didn't cover this story. But I think what we should do for the show is invite the people that comment on Fox News stories to come debate us because these people are fucking nuts.
How do we find them?
I think I'm just going to, every time someone says something, I'm going to be, do you want to be on the Eric and Rodney show with Robin?
Well, it's like 50% of your population. So
right. I'm going to get a few.
Speaking of it, weren't you on a podcast yesterday?
Me?
Yeah.
I was 2 days ago. Yeah.
Oh yeah. How was it?
It was great. It was the pilot episode. I think nice. Robin's been invited on, so I think she's probably waiting for your episode to debut the series. But yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
It's going to debut. I love it.
She asked me about Chris Brown. Do you know who Chris Brown is?
The singer.
Brown.
Yeah. You know him?
Of course, the fiance's ex-boyfriend. Rihanna's ex-boyfriend.
Rihanna's ex-boyfriend. Yeah, that was the only thing I knew about him is that he smacked Rihanna up.
Yeah, but hold on. Yeah. Do you know him?
Of course, the singer-rapper.
No. I'm saying, do you know, like, why she asked you if you knew him, or I don't understand.
Her point, I think her larger point was, can you separate the art from the artist?
Oh, I see. Okay. I didn't understand. I thought you knew him or something. I'm sorry.
No, but it was just like my larger point is generations are strange because if I was going to go, can you separate the art from the artist? I go Michael Jackson or Bill Cosby. This younger generation, Chris Brown, like I can't, if you had a gun to my head, I couldn't name one Chris Brown song. But
you don't know Chris Breezy? I think when that happened, I think he destroyed his career. I think people like him, certain people like him, and I think ultimately he's talented, but I think it destroyed his career.
Well, you can't beat.
I'm not saying it shouldn't. I'm just saying like that. Like I remember, if you remember, he was doing like Double Mint commercials for the chewing gum. Remember that when he had that song where it's like I don't remember the song now, but he was like very popular.
Wasn't he like pretty clean cut? And then he beat the shit out of her, got a bunch of tattoos, and
I remember hearing that he had done that, and I was thinking that guy. I thought he was like Urkel. You know what I mean? He was kind of Urkelish to me. But I mean, yeah, obviously.
No,
you saw this stuff coming out about Jonah Hill, right?
I did. Yeah. Oh, we discussed that.
That's right.
Listen, tune in. We covered all the hot button topics.
That's right.
We should talk about Jonah Hill, but just not today. All right. Can we do the Netherlands story? Then we'll get into the Philippines.
Yeah. So this one actually happened in Spain the other year as well, but it's happened again. A transgender model has broke boundaries. So this is a 100-year-old pageant. Miss Netherlands has crowned their first transgender winner. So she also has a special message. The journey started as a super insecure little boy, and now I'm standing here as a strong and empowering, confident woman, and I'm proud of that. I'm going to leave it at that because if I go to left, I'm going to get canceled. If I go to right, I'm going to get canceled again. So Eric doesn't give two shits about being canceled, so I'm going to ask, where do you stand instead?
He's right off the bat, not that hot. How did the Netherlands has to get their shit together? The women of the Netherlands should be. Come on, man. How do you lose to?
Who's the runner-up? Do we know?
I don't know, but objectively speaking, as a human on this planet, I don't think. Here's the thing: I'm a big Brady fan, obviously, and people are like, Giselle's not even that hot. Giselle is gorgeous. Plus, she's $600 million. In this case, honestly, not that hot, right?
Yeah.
Objectively, speaking, if you don't know the gender, I don't how did the other 99 contestants lose to? I don't know what's going on in the Netherlands. Is my point, I guess.
Very progressive culture.
First world country trying to be woke, I guess.
They're so progressive that even the hot chicks can win beauty pageants. Not hot chicks can. No, she's not a chick. I don't. What do you say about this?
Yeah. So you're saying that a non-biological woman won
Can't say that either.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Actually, the same thing happened. Miss Universe for Spain, the last competition was also a transgender woman.
Aren't women upset that men are competing against them and winning in these things? You should be embarrassed. Okay, I get that a dude puts on a bikini and he's winning all the swimming competitions. I understand that. We have big shoulders. You know what I mean? Biologically speaking, our muscles are bigger. Class to which you should not be losing beauty contests to men. You just can't do it. Stop it. Stop it. Can't do it. Now, I say that, but as soon as we get into the Filipino section, you're going to be confused again.
Probably.
I think
let's get to the Filipino section.
Yeah, I think you can lose to a lady boy because again, the most beautiful women on the planet are Thai men, but you can't lose in the Netherlands.
Like they said in House of Cards, I believe Kevin Spacey said, right? Everything in the world is about sex except sex, and so what's sex about? He said power. Yeah.
That is some insight.
No one watches this, so this joke's not going to get us canceled. But do you think he got an erection when he won? Because that would have
been. So I don't know if this is a pre-op or post-op transgender woman. Do you guys know what those terms mean?
Yeah, operation, pre-operation, and post-operation.
My mother just texted me and said, "Careful." All right. Mom, this is Robin's fault. He puts the news in front of me. I'm obligated.
Yeah,
and I did.
Robin picks those stories.
That's just going to stop. All right, fine. Moving on. Okay, we're going to do a segment now called "What the fuck is going on?" Filipino edition.
And you're going to see how un-Filipino I might be.
Okay. So again, we briefly touched on this. The American education system doesn't teach us a lot about things that don't happen in the United States. Even within the borders, we're not very good. So we have no idea what's going on in the Philippines. I think that's a safe statement to make about the average American. But I am fascinated now that I've been talking to Robin for 2 months on this show. So I looked up the most famous Filipinos. And I picked the top 3. Actually, one was Pacquiao, so I eliminated him because everybody knows who this is.
Of
so
course.
I want you to tell me about who these people are. I would imagine you know. All right, so the most famous Filipino of all time. Do you have a guess as to who it might be?
Manny Pacquiao. I'm sorry, I'm joking.
Yeah.
It's this guy.
I know this guy. This is because every school that you go to in the Philippines is going to teach you about this. His name's Jose Rizal. He was a very famous Filipino nationalist, actually, back when we were still under the colonization of the Spanish.
Yeah.
But there is some history books that say that he was very nationalist. Others argue that he's actually a Spanish elitist. Wait
a second. Didn't the Spanish executed him? Did they not?
I don't think it was the Spanish that executed
Or is he
him.
still alive like Tupac?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, I have no, but it says that the last line in this article says in 1896, Rizal was executed by the Spanish government, paying the ultimate price for freedom fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
So it sounds like he might not have been a Spanish elitist.
Well, maybe.
Or at least not in the end.
Good looking guy, though. Do you know, before he was a freedom fighter, he was an optometrist. Did you know that,
So
Robin?
he could see clearly.
Oh, Lord.
All right. Famous Filipino number 2. So you nailed that one. So this is the second most Filipino of all time. Do you know who this guy is?
Oh no! Why are we bringing this up? This is the dictator's father, the dictator himself.
Yep, the dictator.
I thought this was the guy that owned Toyota. I'm sorry. Go on.
Yeah, so this guy's the actual the dictator in the, I think, 70s. His name was Ferdinand Marcos.
There you go.
And it's so bizarre how still, like, I'm going to even say more than 50% of Filipinos believe that he's like a hero, even though he was a dictator, and he was very ruthless. He tortured and killed thousands of people.
So he was not a hero. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, no. But so here's the bizarre thing. His son is now the president of the Philippines.
He's the new dictator.
Well, hold on a second. This guy tortured and killed half the people, and now his son's running the show?
Yeah, that's true. So it got so bad that we had to... It was a revolution where, like, the bishop of the Philippines that time called all the churchgoers to, like, rally on the streets. It's like the biggest road in Manila. It's called EDSA. So we had those EDSA revolutions, and so it'd be like hundreds of people gathered together by the church, standing against Marcos's military, and eventually they ousted him.
Your country's not unique to this, but I just love that you're so Catholic that you can't get divorced, but you also have leaders that do mass killings, right? It's bizarre. Yeah. It's conceptually bizarre. Look, we've done it ourselves. I'm not. But
makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Very American.
Very American of you. Yeah, congratulations. So you said, so there's a lot of different ethnicities within the Philippines. So was this guy targeting anybody specifically?
Yes, very specifically. And so those people from Manila so much didn't like. So the more educated people, of course, people in Manila, in the northern capital region, more educated, although there are less of them. So he targets like the countrysides, different islands that have a large population, but they're not so much educated.
Huh.
So it's very easy to divide and conquer in the Philippines.
Well, I'm learning a lot about the Philippines today. Now, this is something that confused me. So we get the first two. They threw Pacquiao. This is the fourth most famous Filipino of all time. Let me. Do you agree with this statement? Do you know who this is?
I think I know who this is. Is her name Therese?
Her name is Therese. She's
okay. Wait, yes, I know the story. She became a transgender man.
Well, okay. So Therese, she is a man now. Like so this is what she's since gone. Yeah. Now she's a dude.
Hold on a second. This is her before or after?
After. So this is a guy in drag, and now he's since eschewed the look, and now he goes by Jack something.
But why do I know a man or a woman? Wait, now he's a man or a woman?
Now he's a man. He was a man. He was always a man. Now he's just embracing the.
But he looks like a girl here.
I know, it's very confusing.
Yeah.
Do you know who this guy is, or is this a guy or a girl?
I believe it is a biological man.
So do you know who this is, Robin? Is he?
Yeah, of course.
Are they famous?
So he was very famous back in the day because he has a great voice. So he appeared on many different American TV shows. Because
is he like a rapper? Or
no. Like, so he'd sing like Celine Dion songs and whatnot.
Oh, okay.
He would blow it out of the water.
Oprah Winfrey called her, or him, again, I'm not trying to call this person the most talented singer in the world in 2010.
Yeah.
Really?
Oprah.
Wow.
Yeah, he was really big.
And what's the story now? Are they not as big anymore?
Since he became Jack, he kind of like changed career paths, and he's just not so much in the spotlight anymore.
Interesting. So so as a biological man, he would sing Celine Dion songs and crush it?
No. biological woman turned into a transgender man.
Oh, this is so confusing. So she was a biological woman.
Yes. Yes.
And then she transitioned to a guy.
Yes.
Okay.
We have to be careful about misgendering.
I know. We got to stop doing these stories. I don't know what to say. Try to make it funny, but I can't. All right, All right, here we go. Real quick, we have 5 minutes left. I looked up the 15 most famous Filipino dishes. All right, so you need to identify this.
This is speed round.
This came up as number 1. What is this delightful?
Sinigang, specifically sinigang with salmon belly or some kind of fish.
Salmon belly. All right, so what's going on here? What's the broth? Are we doing?
It's actually So if you come to the Philippines, you have to have this. It's my favorite Filipino dish.
Nice. It's
sour and salty, and like it's very hot and humid in the Philippines. So like a lot of people like the salt. So we eat it with a lot of rice and has vegetables. It's nice.
How often do you have this? Is this a once a week meal? Is it special? Is restaurants? Does mom make it? How are we doing this?
Is this microwavable?
Does it come in the middle of a hot pocket?
Most Filipino families will eat this at least once a week. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a once a week meal. Okay.
This is a stew, like a good stew.
Yeah, big hearty stew. Okay. This came in at number 2. Anthony Bourdain said this is the best way to prepare pork, the best pork he's ever had.
I'm guessing this is lechon.
Oh, I thought it was bacon wrapped something.
Let's look at it. So what's the deal? It looks like a very tiny pig.
What is this?
You gonna kill a baby pig for this?
Yeah.
Suckling.
Usually it's a suckling pig, exactly. And then it's very popular in like fiestas and parties and get-togethers. So they just have like a suckling pig and like people just cut pieces of it. And most of the time it still has the head on.
Oh shit! Does this blow your mind? Well, here's the thing: you've never had shitty pork. I think our pork's terrible. I think your pork is exponentially better. That's one thing you'd be disappointed by.
We eat pork the same way down south. They put it on a big old cooker and the head's still on it. You're just looking at him while you're eating.
Yeah, it's bizarre, but it's normal.
It's
wild. But this is a baby pig though. You could do this in the air fryer.
Probably.
Jeepers creepers.
All right, and then this bad boy. They say this is this is like party food. You know what this is?
Party food?
I don't know what I'm gonna guess.
I'm gonna stay away from any food with beans in it.
I'm gonna guess it's menudo.
Yep.
But because I've never seen menudo look this soupy. No. Usually it's not this soupy, but yeah.
Menudo. I don't know. That's Ricky Martin's old band.
They were a great band. Yeah, the boy band Menudo. Are you familiar with their work?
No. Was he named?
They have a dish named after him in the Philippines.
Oh shit.
They have a bean soup named after him in the Philippines. Wait till Ricky Martin hears. Ricky, we got big news.
He's gonna be thrilled. All right, in the last 3 minutes, I looked at the most popular Filipino drink, and they say this lambanog.
Lambong.
This is lambanog. It's alcohol concoction made from coconuts. It's actually very, very strong, and there's a lot of what do you call it? What do you call it when you're making moonshine? Just illegal activity with
high octane.
Yeah. Bootlegging? Is there bootlegging?
Bootlegging.
Yeah, bootlegging alcohol. So like
criminal activities.
Make this
wait. So you have Filipino hillbillies out in the mountains making lamanagadog?
Yep, we do, and it's wow. I gotta tell you, it's very strong.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are you over there drinking a jar of it?
No, but
Eric, imagine we went to the Philippines and we started making coconut wine in the woods. Like that was our operation.
Can you imagine the Filipino surprise when they find 2 white guys making coconut wine in the woods of the Philippines?
And licking toads.
Licking toads, making coconut wine. Just like the prophecy foretold.
We're here to elevate you guys.
Exactly. Yeah. You guys ever put like a sugar rim on this? Do you guys have sugar rims over there? We're putting sugar rims on everything.
Yes.
Lambanog is
that looks like a TGI Fridays in the background.
It sure. Yeah. Someone's having some appetizers and some lambanog. Yeah. I need some of this shit. Here's the thing. I think when the liquor is made out of something at its base, which is good. Like I'm not a fan of sake. Like rice is kind of flavorless. I love bourbon because corn is good. Coconuts are delightful. So I would imagine.
Yeah, are delightful.
You know what I mean? Grapes, big fan of wine. Grapes.
Pineapple.
Pineapple. Oh yeah.
I had a
shit.
plum wine.
Plum
My
wine?
friend Kyle, Wild Kyle,
Yeah.
he brought me some plum wine. It was impeccable.
See, that's the thing. Like vodka's okay. It doesn't taste like anything because potatoes are bland. But why aren't they making sweet potato vodka? Has anybody thought about this?
I wonder.
You've got to keep these secret. Too many people are watching.
We only got 40 seconds left, so we should say bye now. But Robin, when you come to the United States, you're gonna have to shove a couple of these bottles right up your ass because I don't think they're allowed here.
We don't want to go to prison.
No, we don't want that. We can't get you out of prison with a bag of Funyuns. So goodbye, America. See you tomorrow.